When we first started presenting our business plan to people, the most common reaction that we got from potential investors was, huh? And we actually found this an encouraging reaction because it told us that we were slightly ahead of the curve, which is where we wanted to be. Within 1 year of receiving that reaction, we had raised our first 2 rounds of funding, we had launched the company, we had been determined by Red Herring magazine to be one of the 200 fastest growing high-tech startups in the world. We had received worldwide media coverage, and we had become the leading provider of financial services for virtual economies.
First Meta is the first company in the world to provide a full suite of financial services for virtual economies. We issued the Meta card, which is the first virtual currency denominated credit card within Second Life.
First Meta is working on several R&D efforts. The first one is in understanding consumer and economic behavior in virtual economies. The second is on linking up goods, services, and currency flows in between virtual economies, so different virtual economies. And the third is integrating the virtual economy with the real economy, allowing the free flow of products, services, and currency in between virtual and real economies. The breakthrough that we're expecting is the creation of a whole new industry, which is the virtual financial services industry. Currently and historically, there's a very large real-world financial services industry, which includes companies like banks, investment banks, insurance companies, asset management companies that allow people in the real world, in the real economy, to invest, increase their wealth, and borrow money so that they can smooth out their consumption over their lifetime. In the virtual world, there are emerging virtual economies that have their own currencies and their own separate countries with different virtual currencies, and people accumulating virtual wealth but unable to invest it and unable to effectively borrow virtual money to spread out their consumption. So we plan to build a new industry of virtual financial services that mirrors the financial services industry in the real world and ultimately links up the real and the virtual economies.
We can hire people from all over the world at very reasonable rates because, for example, about half of our employees work for us purely in Second Life, and a lot of them get paid in virtual money, in Linden dollars. Our R&D will create a whole new industry of financial services for virtual worlds, which will end up generating new knowledge within this industry, new jobs, new skill sets. And what this would do is to make First Meta into the leading financial services provider for the virtual economy, and also put Singapore at the forefront of developing this new industry.